in a particular program and do like I'm a speaker there. So I decided that instead of just speaking alone to the people that are there, why don't I just go live and also include you? Yesterday I had tried to do something like that, but unfortunately the live didn't go. The live something didn't go. So here we are today. The live is on now. Now is the internet here that is giving me a problem. Okay, no, it's not giving me a problem. I think they're the ones that have not just added me on. So we'll see as it goes, as we wait for others to join us on this. So well done, everyone. Yesterday was International Women's Day. Honestly, as I've grown older, I really, I'm not. I really don't even like that whole thing. I just think it's just a charade, that is being put out. That everyone is different, whether young, old, female, or male. We understood the importance of working together positively within our circle and beyond. Oh, yeah. Counter which is our theme of this program, is to recognize the inherent value and worth of every girl and woman. So they've started, so I'll soon be going on, and then definitely you will be able to hear me. Challenging stereotypes and creating opportunities for women to thrive and succeed. What are the barriers we are facing? Many times these barriers are just in our minds, or the way we are expected to be seen as a woman. Yeah, so basically, so I'm going to talk about that. Let me just reduce this. I don't want to reduce the volume now. When it's not time for me to talk, I'll not be having to reduce it or not even be able to reduce it as much as I can. But we're just going to have a conversation. I think for me, it's just going to be about, they have at least 30% women outperform the benchmark of 20. People want to. People are more likely to invest in female entrepreneurs. People just want to invest in that particular statement is really sort of like apt. So I'm going to come back when I start, when it's about to be my turn. He told me it's going to be my turn. I just hate shabby this thing when we women are the backbone of every and any community. Hello, please. We'll soon start when it's my turn for me to start speaking. I'm really waiting for them. There's a speaker that is already on. So hopefully when they called me and said that it was my turn, sometimes. Majority of their workers let me just. I said that was only reason that I have quality on the field. Oh, where's my sound? Yeah, so I've reduced that. So sometimes, so I was supposed to do. They asked me to be part of this event, and I did. Timing, they were said 12 o'clock. I was like, fine. This morning they called me that they didn't start the event early, blah blah blah. I'm going to do it later. And then just like a few minutes ago, they called me again. So I'm going to be on standby. I'm the one that is coming up next. And here I am now. The conversation has not started. But anyway, sure. Those are the things that do happen. Let me see. Do we have enough light for me to be? It's a bit hot in here. And what I'm going to talk about basically is both for women and then everyone is how people should just focus on growing themselves. Don't sell yourself short. Don't know your value. Know who you are, because that's something that a lot of people don't actually know. People don't know who they are. People don't take time to have a relationship with themselves. It's a very difficult thing for people to do, and then they find themselves. I don't know whether they're talking because I lowered this thing now. No, she's still. So people sort of like don't have relationship with themselves. One of the things that I do with people, for example, when I'm mentoring, I always say, who are you? Who am I? I always give the first assignment I'll give you is to just you go that question, who am I? Go and sit down and write a whole page or book about it, who you are. Do you know, as simple as that question is, a lot of people find it difficult because now you have to interrogate yourself. Now you have to, and the thing is that it's not about who the society says you are. It's not about who anyone says. It's about who is it that you are inside, just you and your mirror. Who do you think you are? And most times I always say to people, when people get angry over maybe some insult that people have said to them, I always say that maybe it's something that it's in you, that you've not really taken time out to sort of like be at peace with that particular thing. That's why you feel that way. Otherwise, you really wouldn't feel that way. You just take, if you know who you are. And if you say I'm ugly, before now, I know say I'm ugly. I will wear hair, and then what's that? If you say I'm fine, before now, I know say I'm fine. You know, and if you say I'm stupid, me no say I'm not stupid. So I don't want to take concern me say you say I'm stupid. You understand that kind of a thing. So it's now you they say am like that. I'm not the one saying it. But it's a very important thing that people need to do to just see themselves, know themselves, and be able to carry it on. Let me just call these people. I wonder why they have me online. Oh, this is serious. Yeah, so let me just say, so basically that's going to be part of the things I'm going to be talking about. Why is this not moving? uh, it's saying I lost my network connection. Let me just go back and let me rejoin. Okay, yeah, so I'm back now. Always tell yourself I will give the best. I'm giving reference to what already shared got outside. So we just got the whole program all mixed up. And because Nigeria, I compared it to what we do. Ours was not of standard. Ours was not of standard. Wherever you find yourself, even if you think of dress that well here, you didn't make it, you didn't have it, you didn't make up, you didn't do it excellent, do it with joy. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and know that you're deserving of every opportunity to succeed. For those of you who have faced diversity and hardship, remember that resilience is your greatest asset. That failure is your greatest asset, because they set your greatness. Every setback you have overcome, every challenge you have faced, has only made you stronger. Just strength from your experience today. Together, let's create a world where a woman is celebrated, supported, and given the opportunity to reach our full potential. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, Mrs. Toluwani Jigodu. From her speech, I know that she's a very passionate person. You agree with her? And please not just take what she said, just like that. Oh, she said she should come and speak. I hope you were listening deep down. Because as a woman, there's a lot you can actually achieve. The heat in Abuja is something else. As in your AC will be on, it's as if there's no AC. And then you call person that is a prayer, and the person is telling you that there's nothing wrong with your AC. It's just that the heat is too much. Just hold on a bit. I will be joining quite soon. I'll be coming on board to speak. And so when it's my turn to speak, we'll be able to hear all of this. Who wrote the exam passed it. The woman is earning dollars right now in cybersecurity. So she said when she heard the story of that woman, she in her 50s said, if a 60-year-old person could do this, why can't I do the same?
So she went ahead and she wrote the exam. So you can dream again, irrespective of how old you are. You are a woman. You are a woman. You are loved. And you have the strength and you are work strong. Please let me tell your neighbor, woman, you are loved. You are strong. Dream again. Thank you.
Okay, so we're about that. If you're here, just go ahead, give us some thumbs up, some like, share, subscribe. If you've not subscribed, you can do that. They're calling me right away now. So
Aisha Yusuf. She was actually supposed to be physically present yesterday. I know some of you came just to come and see her. But she's online as we speak. She really wants to talk to us. She's not able, she won't be here physically anymore, but we appreciate that she's still with us. She's joining us online right now. Can we take her? Okay. All right. She's on. Aisha, the floor is yours. By the time you finish, I will tell you something that I know about you. Let's put our hands together. She will talk to you. You will hear her. She's online right now. Let's put our hands together for Aisha Yusuf. Come on.
hello everyone. Thank you. Where do I start from? I'm getting an echo. I think Walter, could you please mute yourself? Otherwise, an echo is coming. Yeah, fantastic. I think you've done that. So, good morning, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. It's really a pleasure being here with you all. I'm going to start off today by telling you a story of a little girl. This little girl used to go to school in the morning without breakfast. Coming back home, she was not expecting lunch. This little girl loved school so much, and she loved her books. She loved reading, and she just wanted to be educated. This little girl grew up in a ghetto, and everyone around her was there was a lot of poverty, there was a lot of fighting, and most of our friends, by the time this little girl was 11 years old, all her friends had gotten married, because at the time what normally happened within the environment where she grew up was that as soon as girls were up to age, they were not even up to age. As soon as girls were maybe like started puberty, there were even some that got married as early as 9 years old. They were all married off. And this little girl was looked upon as a bit odd and weird, and the fact that she wanted to go to school. But there was something that this little girl always noticed, was the fact that a lot of the women who she could see at that time who drove cars were actually women who were educated. And her dream was this big dream of her being able to drive cars, to drive a car. And she was so focused on the fact that she wanted that education. And this little girl, there were days that she didn't have a textbook, because her parents, like, remember what I said to you earlier, she would go to school in the morning without breakfast. Coming back home, she wasn't expecting lunch. And so this little girl, sometimes will be the first to do her homework, not because she was a super serious student, but because she didn't have textbook back at home. So she will stay in school and beg her classmates to give her textbook, and she'll be doing the homework. Sometimes when they come to pick them, because this little girl was fortunate enough to go to a secondary school, that was looked upon as a privileged secondary school, because the children of the upper class and middle class were all in that school. And so she would scribble, she was doing her homework, and when the time comes for some of the kids to be picked, then she would beg another person for the textbook, and she would just do this homework. This particular little girl, the first secondary school she went to was a government secondary school, where and they really didn't speak English much. There were not a lot of subjects that were taught. There were particular terms that all she did were 4 subjects, Hausa, home economics, Arabic, and one other course I can't remember now. And so this little girl was in Form 2 when she went to this private school and started from Form 1. And this little girl, they made fun of her. They laughed at her. They didn't, because she couldn't speak English very well. But she didn't mind. Anytime people made fun of her, anytime people laughed at her, this little girl would just say to them, okay, after they finished laughing, she would say to them, what's the right pronunciation? How am I supposed to pronounce it? And that's how this little girl was able to learn, the English words. And by the time she was in SS1, this little girl was already became the best student in English. No matter how much this little girl was insulted, she never felt bothered. There was a time when some of her, a classmate, no, not a classmate, a junior of hers was looking at her and said, oh, you're so poor. Your parents are so poor, they can't afford to bring you to school. And this little girl was sassy. She was quite a sassy little girl. And she never allows anyone, people's words get at her. And she looked right back at the person and said, well, it's the same school that my poor dad can afford that your rich dad can also afford. So nothing makes any difference. This little girl, went on. She insisted on going to school. I went on to school, and at the age of 24, she got married. By the time she got married, at the age of 24, she was no, of course, at 24, she was no longer a little girl. And then when she got married at the age of 24, many people made fun of her because most of her friends were already grandmothers at that time. She was looked upon as, old person, old maid, anything. But hey, she didn't care. She was living her life and she enjoyed her life. And she's no longer a little girl. The little girl that I was telling you about is now 50 years old, and she's absolutely in your screen right now. Yeah, my name is Aisha Yusufu, and I used to be that little girl. I was that little girl. And so the reason why I'm telling you this story today is for you to understand that no matter what your beginnings are, no matter how much people make fun of you, no matter what people say about you, that is not your reality. Your reality is what it is that you make it to be. And that if you're focused, if you stay on, and if you refuse to give up, and if you keep going, that the sky will always be your beginning. And I will tell you something. When I was growing up in the midst of so much hunger, where sometimes our parents couldn't put food on the table, I had so many lofty ideas. I remember how much my parents would laugh sometimes when they hear the kind of ideas I have. I was very lazy. I don't like sweeping, cleaning, whatever. I did it, I'll complain. Of course, I prefer to read my books. Sometimes myself and my mom will always be quarreling because I want to read my books during exam. She wants me to stay in the shop. I'm going to stay in the shop every other day. But when I have tests, I always say to mom, no, I'm not going to be in your shop when I have tests. I'm going to be reading my book. During exams, when I come back from school, I normally don't go and stay in the shop because I want to read, for my exams. I really wanted to pass. And sometimes she wouldn't understand that. And so we'll have a bit of, fighting and all of that. And I was told so many times that, oh, who is going to marry me, because I don't like housework and stuff like that. And I always say that, well, I'm going to get a vacuum cleaner, I'm going to get a yam pounder, I'm going to get a dishwasher when I grow up, when I finish school, when I'm educated, when I have a job. I'm going to get all of this, so many great things. And somehow, my parents would laugh, and, it would just look like the standing joke in the family. But in 2014, my mom called me and she said to me, thank you for dreaming for the whole family. Thank you for, carrying the weight of the whole family. Why am I telling you this? Sometimes for those who are younger amongst you, sometimes your dreams will even be bigger than that of your parents and the people around you and the adults around you, and they can't see it and they can't understand it. And sometimes they are not as supportive as they should be. Yeah, it's because of they don't understand the dreams. Yeah, why you respectfully explain it to them, just keep dreaming and keep going. There are a few things I'm going to share with you all as we're celebrating the International Women's Day, and most especially this message is going to be geared towards women. Of course, any other person, even the men, can also take maybe few notes from the things that I'm going to say, but it's just for us all to know specifically where I'm getting it to. And it's not about being biased or anything. It's because of the fact that as women in this society, the society is patriarchal. And so most times as women, we are sort of like pushed down. We are sort of like not allowed to excel. Sometimes when you excel, they tell you that, oh, you're too stubborn, you're too this, you're too that. And so it takes a whole lot. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that give yourself permission to excel. Hey, sister, you're great, you're amazing, you're wonderful. Give yourself permission to excel. It's okay to be great. You're not being rude. You're not being obnoxious by being great. You're not being stubborn. Just give yourself that permission. As easy as this looks, not many people have been allow themselves or give themselves the permission for them to excel. Why does this happen? A lot of times as little girls, we were all once little girls, and there are still some who are little girls. As little girls, we were taught so many times that we can't do certain things. We shouldn't do certain things. Oh, you know, as a girl, you shouldn't do this. As a woman, you're not supposed to do this. And that's why for me, particularly growing up, I refuse to do label. And even up to today, I always say to people, I don't like labels, because when they say, oh, she's an activist, I say, no, I'm not an activist. Everybody have their own mouth. I'm just a Nigerian who is tired of being silent, and I'm speaking because I'm tired of being voiceless in my own country where I should be a citizen and not slave. And so because sometimes what they do, oh, she's a wife, oh, she's a mother, like, no, don't tag me. When people tag you, they sort of like want to limit you to whatever label that they give to you, and they want you to be that way. So one of the things that you must remember is that nobody is going to give you permission to excel. You owe yourself the permission to excel, and you keep going, and don't allow anything to stop you. Don't listen to the little voices that were planted in your head, and don't listen to people around you that tell you that women can't do something. The next thing I'm going to talk about is don't sell yourself short. We do that a lot. You think that, oh, why should I do this? Oh, no, I can't do. I always say to people, what's the worst thing that is going to happen? If you dare to do something, fine, you fail, so fast forward your failure. There's this book by John C. Maxwell that says, fast forward your failure. Fail again and again and again. Get up and keep going. Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. Is there a particular problem? Are you guys hearing me? Okay, fantastic. So failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. So a lot of people, because you're afraid of failure, you're afraid that people will laugh at you, then you sell yourself short. You don't reach your potential. You rather be doing one small thing that you are good at, rather than go out there and do the things that you can be capable of doing. Michelle Obama said something. She said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. So don't sell yourself down. Don't reduce of yourself. Don't say that, oh, what if I fail? And the question should always be, and what if you fail? And stand up and keep going. We learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. And there's nowhere you can achieve success without actually have a series of failure. And the more you fail, let me tell you something, sister, the more your success is more likely. So if you say, oh, I'm not going to do anything because I'm afraid to fail, then what definitely is going to happen is that the success will not be there. Meanwhile, the failure, it's something that it might be there, it might not be there. And even if it's there, you learn from it, and you keep going. The next question that I'm going to ask, I'm going to say to everyone, is that who are you? Sit down, get a piece of paper when you get home probably, and say to yourself, who am I? And then list out, find who you are, because most times people refuse to have a relationship with themselves. People don't love themselves. They are waiting for other people to love you. Nobody can love you as much as you love yourself. So self-love is very important. Know who you are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and you know what you do. Your strength, keep amplifying your strength. Your weaknesses, you can sort of like, there's a particular word that I'm looking for right now. Outsource. Yeah, that's the word. You can outsource your weaknesses. Let me give you an example. For me, myself, one of my greatest strengths is that I can talk. I can speak. I can come to an event and I wasn't told that I'm going to speak, and you just say to me, Aisha, speak on something, and I can stand up and speak literally, and you think that I had prepared for days for that particular event. So I know that's my strength. Yeah, so I work on my strength. What's my weakness? One of my weaknesses is that writing. The same thing that I can pick up the mic and speak about it for like maybe 2 hours. If you give me 3, 4, 5 hours, I will speak about it. If you tell me to write it, it becomes a problem. So what is that thing? That's my weakness. So what do? I outsource my weakness. I get people who are good at writing. They do it. I don't have to do it. Get somebody else to do it, and that's what they call OPT, other people's time. You pay for other people's time to do certain things for you, so you don't have to be the one like, oh, do everything all the time and stuff like that. So it's very important for us to know ourselves. What's our weaknesses? What's our strength? Who are we? Not who the society tell us we are, because many people go through life thinking about what the society told them they are. Oh, they told me that as a woman I can't do this. They told me that as a woman I can, or they told me that I'm not pretty enough. I didn't come here to do a beauty competition in the world. I don't need to be pretty to do it. Oh, she's not this, or you're not smart, and you believe them. No, find out who you are. Who am I? Go into that conversation with you and find out. And the strength from knowing exactly who you are is the fact that you will not be bothered about what people say to you. When people insult you, it will not matter. So somebody come to say, Aisha, you wo. I don't want to concern me now. Am I here to do beauty contest with you? Or somebody says one thing or the other. And for younger people, that little girl that I used to be, growing up, I don't know what happened to my family. We have this thing where as very kids, we have sparkling white teeth, our milk teeth. Then when it changes to the permanent thing, it's no longer that sparkling white. And as a young girl, when I was in secondary school, the easiest way you could make me to shut up in an argument was to say, oh, I shall look at your teeth. And that was it. I shut up. But as I grew older, like, who am I? This is who I am. So if you say I shall look at your teeth, now I don't even bother. And then, of course, there's bleaching. If you want to, I go and do bleaching and take care of it. But as I got to a stage where I realized, no, I'm not going to be held back by somebody say, oh, look at your teeth, and that's it, I will not be able to talk. So there are certain things in you. You have to accept yourself the way you are. If there's a flaw or something, sometimes they say, oh, look at your big nose, or look at your this, or look at your complexion, or look at your hair, or look at your legs, or look at your shape. I was a fat kid. They made fun of me a lot. The way it is, they will call you fatty bobo and all of that. Even though my daughter had told me that that's there's a way, body shaming. I learned that from my daughter. No, you can't do that. So these are things. If you accept yourself for who you are and you love yourself unconditionally, nothing anybody is going to say to you that will matter. And for the older women here, the thing they always say to us, they say, oh, the small thing, if you're doing something, they say, oh, you are a prostitute, you are a shower. I'm like, I've been married. Next month, I'll be married for 26 years. 17th of April will be our wedding anniversary, 26th wedding anniversary. So what it is that they do for my husband house? I get one customer and my husband at the service and wear. So which insult you want to insult me say I be a shower go pay me? Because that's one thing they do a lot. When they tell women, oh, you are a shower, the next thing should not be, no, I'm not a shower. And they will not try to now as you look at me like say I get customer at the service and wear. And you see, as I did here, say, my mama, so yeah, come. I leave una for here, go meet her. When I don't finish, I'll come back. Say, okay, where were we? So those are the things. So you must be ready to accept yourself the way you are. Don't bother about what people say. Insults and praises are the same thing. I always tell people, insults and praises are the same thing. They are people's opinion about you. They are not your reality. So don't make them your reality. When people praise you, don't let it get to your head. Because you're doing something good, then they say, oh, then you now begin to feel arrogant. You carry yourself. You feel you're something. Forget about it. We are all nothing. Recently, there's these pictures that came out of Herbert Wigwe. May his soul and that of his wife and son rest in peace, and the others that died in that crash. And I think everybody that is sensible enough should look at that event and those pictures and, have a retrospection. If you're one person who feels proud, who think you're something, I always say we are nothing. One of the reasons for me is that every time I think about the fact that as human beings, we don't even know what is going to happen the next second. This was someone who flew to the US on a private jet, joined a helicopter to go and do something. And his body is brought back in some container, like a wooden sort of this thing. That alone should make us think, wow, this life, there's nothing. So don't let the praises get to your head. Don't feel that you're more than other people and carry your shoulder. And also one thing, Hello, can you hear me? I hope that didn't interrupt the meeting. Hello, can you hear me? Let me see. Okay, fantastic. So don't carry yourself and feel that, oh, you're more than other people and stuff like that. Just, just be humble. And one thing is in life is that when you lower yourself to people, when you don't come with arrogance, when people see you, be nice to human beings, be respectful. The way you want to respect yourself, respect other people. When you're respecting other people, it's not there you're actually respecting. You're actually respecting yourself. You're saying to yourself that I'm a human being worthy of respect, so I'm extending that respect to other people. So don't ever let the praises get to your head. And when you humble yourself, guess what? People will elevate you. People will carry you up. But when you come, you're trying to be arrogant, looking down on people, people will actually look down on you also. So first of all, don't let the insults, don't let the praises get into your head, and don't let the insults get to your heart. Don't let whatever people are saying about you be that thing that it holds you down. So if somebody comes to say, oh, Aisha, you're so beautiful, I'm like, ah, thank you. Was I angry? Is it not the person's opinion? And then somebody will now come and say, Aisha, you are so ugly. Then I'm like, hey, how dare you say I'm ugly? Blah, blah, blah. Is it not his smart? Is it not his opinion? It's not your opinion. So as much as you can, if you are able to do that, you don't allow the insults get to your head, your mind, the praises get to your head, you will be good. So that's also something, that it's very critical. So Sheila Murray Bethel said something. She said, one of the most courageous things you can do is to identify yourself. Know who you are, what you believe in, and where you want to go. Can I say that again? She says, one of the most courageous things you can do is to identify yourself. Don't allow anybody identify you. Don't allow other people tell you who you are. You should know who you are. When you come, they will know who you are. Then know who you are, what you believe in. That's why when I see people doing religious arguments, the thing used to baffle me. I'm like, who cares? I know what I believe in. You know what you believe in. Do your do. Let me day my day. Let me do my do. That's all. Everybody move on. It's a free world. Let's respect one another. And then where you want to go, if you know where you want to go, you're not going to allow yourself to be derailed by anyone. The next thing I'm going to talk about also is taking responsibilities for our actions. Many people fail to take responsibilities for their action. We will blame everybody. We will blame village people. We will blame devil. We will blame enemies, principalities and powers. We will blame every other person, but we never take responsibility. And one of the things is that when you do not take responsibility for a problem, the solution can never be with you. It's as simple as ABCD. That solution can never be with you until you take responsibility for the problem. Because the first thing that I do, okay, this thing has happened. Okay, what did I do? What could I have done better? What could I have done to have mitigated it, stopped it, and all that? So when you take that responsibility, you begin to find solution. But when you keep making excuses, and it's okay, we make mistakes. Sometimes there are certain times in your life you're supposed to do something, you didn't do it right, you made a mistake. Just accept it, apologize for it, learn from the mistake, and keep going on. And guess what? You'll be the one that will be better for it. So excuses, don't make excuses. Don't try to get away from something. Just accept responsibility and keep going with it. Maya Angelou said, I love to see a young girl go out and grab the world by the lapels. Life is a bitch. You've got to go out and kick ass. Don't sit down and think that, oh, the world is going to meet you. Let me tell you something. One of the most damaging things that we did to ourselves, and I hope we're not doing it to our daughters, for those that have younger daughters, is this whole story of Cinderella, princess in distress, Prince Charming, somebody is going to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. You're the one to save yourself. So learn everything that you need to learn. Learn about financial literacy. Learn about everything in life. Learn about life, how to take care of yourself financially, emotionally, psychologically. Love yourself. If you can't love yourself, nobody else will be able to love you. Be able to love yourself in a way that you're not waiting for someone else to come and give you happiness. You are happy on your own. You have a relationship with yourself. And then any other person that is coming is going to add to that happiness, not that you're waiting for someone else to bring in that happiness. Next, I'm going to say, dare to dream and set goals. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. Either way, you are right. That's it. And it was Henry Ford that said that. You know, the first time I read that statement, I was reading a book, and I came across it in a book, and I just started laughing. And I'm so glad I was in the house when I did it, because it was so funny and it was so apt. Because many people think, oh, I can't do this thing. This thing cannot be done. If you think it cannot be done, you can never do it. And all of us, just look at the screen if you can see me. See as I'm saying, if I'm standing, if there's a situation they bring to me, and I said, this thing hard though, I can't do it. If you're looking at me, you will see my body language goes down, because I'm already accepting defeat. I can't do it. But instead of saying I can't do it, why don't we say, how can I do it? When you say, how can I do it, your body language is different. It comes up, right? Because you're asking, you're trying to find what is the way to do it. You don't accept that you can't do it. So that's what happens when if you think, and then it says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. So it's left in you to set those, to dare to dream and set goals. Remember the story I told you as a little girl? I dared to dream. I was in the ghetto. I was dreaming about the whole world. I was dreaming about traveling the whole world. There's no limit to what you can dream about. And if you can't dream it, you can't get it. If you can't imagine it, you can't see it, you won't be able to get it. So please make it a point of duty to always dare to dream and to set goals. Sometimes your goals will be so big that people will say to you, are you crazy? Keep going. Sometimes your dreams are so huge that people are like, how can they just keep going? I mean, my husband initially, like when we got married, I'm like, oh, we need to do this. He will look at me and say, how? He said, you are crazy. How are we going to achieve these things? We don't have any. I'm like, yes, but let's begin to work on it. Let's begin to do this. I bet today when it got to a time when I'm saying something, we just say, give me 5, because we work towards it. Those dreams that were big, we suddenly achieved them. If there's something that I want you to note down right now, please write this down. I want you, when you go home, go and write 100 things that you would like to achieve in the next 10 years. 100 things that you would like to achieve in the next 10 years. Please don't limit your dreams to your reality. When you're setting goals. Okay, I'm being told that my time is supposed to be 15 minutes. So I should have been told earlier that my time is going to be 15 minutes. So that I prepare a 15 minutes a 15 minutes topic. But if you want me to stop now, I can stop. Do you want me to stop now? You guys want me? I'm getting a message. Yeah, so that's what needed to happen. You needed, because you just say, oh, you're the guest speaker, as if I had much time. So it's 15 minutes. Let me know, please. Indicate or send me the message. Should I stop now? I'm not getting that message. Should I stop? Okay, while I wait for the message, okay, he's saying they said no. Oh, okay. So let me continue with that. So I might try to just limit it to something. But the thing is that just be able to set this. So I was saying something. I said, Walter, mute yourself, please. I'm hearing you back again. Yeah, thank you. So the thing I was talking about, I say, yes, please, if you go home today, go and get yourself a new book. I think if I check here, I will see the one that I did. Oh, is it this one? There's a particular, oh no, it's not this one. So please get a book. What I want you to do in this book is for you to write 100 things that you would like to achieve in the next 10 years. And I was saying, don't limit yourself to your reality, because a lot of people, when they are setting goals, they limit it to their reality. How can I get? No, when you're setting goals, go big, go wild. I think it was who was it that said that um when if you want to set a goal, you should set a big enough goal so that in the process of achieving that goal you become somebody worth becoming. I can't remember the name of the person who said it. It's one of my great speaker that I always have his quotes. But that's what, so when you're setting goals, please don't limit it to what, because my salary is 100K now, you are setting goals of 100K. No, when we say the next, go wild. Just imagine anything is possible and set it. I did that. The first time I read that in a book, that was in the year 2010. And I did my 100 goals, what I want to achieve in the year 2010. And I tell you, a good number of the things I thought were impossible at that time, a good number of them I've achieved them. Some of them, they became even too, it was something that no, I no longer wanted it, because the dream became a bit, the goal became small and all of that. So please don't forget to do that. So I'll just quickly run through to say, so that I'll round up, so that I don't hold you guys too much up. And know your rights and exercise them. That's very important. As a woman, as a person, as a citizen, please don't let people trample upon your right. If you do that, they will continue to do it. Know your rights and exercise them. Madeleine Albright said, it took me quite a long time to develop a voice. And now that I have it, I'm not going to be silent. You understand? So please know that. The other thing also is that empower others. As much as you might think it's very important, when we empower others, we're also empowering ourselves. Don't keep everything to yourself. Share knowledge. Some people say, oh, somebody will be bigger than me. If I teach you today, if I tell you something, if I mentor you and you are not bigger than me, then I've not taught you well. Because the essence is that you are supposed to be bigger than me. You're not supposed to be my level. I want to be able to say that, oh, that particular big person there, that particular one there, I also played a part towards their greatness. That's the kind of thing that I would want to see. And Malala Yousafzai said, I raised up my voice, not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot succeed when a half of us are held back. So until everybody is successful, we really are not successful. Until everybody has food to eat, we also will be hungry. Until everybody have clothes on their back, we are all naked. Until everybody have shoes to wear, we are shoeless. So as much as whatever we do, let's continue to empower others. Do not allow someone else's opinion become of your reality. I think I've spoken about that already when I talked about insults and praises. When a man gives his opinion, he's a man. When a woman gives her opinion, she's a bitch. That's what Bette Davis said. I know sometimes, when women speak, they say, oh, you're too loud, you're too this, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. No way. I have a voice. I'm a human being. The fact that I'm a woman, it doesn't make me a slave or anything. I'll just try to run through. Maybe I'll just give you the basic headings and not really explain them. Be financially independent. As a woman, financially independent is very important. A financially independent woman is an attractive woman. Don't say that don't have a sense of entitlement. Oh, the man must do this, the man must do. The same school you went to is what the man has gone to. The same degree you have, you are working the same work, yet you're waiting for someone. No. If I always say to people, if your husband, for those who are married, your husband should be able to come to you and say, sweetie, please borrow me this so amount of money, and you write check and give him. There's a sort of mutual respect that also comes with that. Never give up. Keep going. Don't reduce of yourself. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Remember that. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And then, bring it out. Let yourself flourish. Do not limit yourself. And most importantly, also choose empowering relationships. Choose empowering relationships. Some people will tell you that, oh, as a woman, if you have a car, which man is going to marry? That's not the kind of man you're looking for. Oh, because you have this, the men will be. No, there are a lot of men who are, it's only men boys acting as men that feel they want to bring a woman down. Real men support women. They push you. They make you feel motivated. They give you wings to fly. And then Chimamanda said something. She said, of course, I'm not worried about intimidating men. The type of man who will be intimidated by me is exactly the type of man I have no interest in. And that's our own Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie that was saying that knowledge is power. Please, whatever you do, try and get knowledge. It's very important. And then I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Love yourself. Self-love is very important. There's only one you in this world. You are an endangered species. And so to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. And there's also this saying by Stephanie B, where she says, when a woman is empowered, she pursues excellence in all aspects of life and never settles. She's able to envision her dreams, then has the courage to run after them, no matter the cost of that. I'm going to round up here by saying to every one of us here that you are important, your dreams are valid, your aspirations are valid, and you can. And the world is like your oyster, your place for you to excel. And the sky is your beginning. Please don't limit yourself. And I say thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope I've not really gone too much overboard. Thank you. Okay, for those of you who are here, thank you so much for listening to that. That was the end. I had to do a bit of rushing because, and of course, they didn't tell me what my time was, and then they're not saying that 15 minutes. Anyways, it is what it is, and that what is most important is that please always know who you are. Don't allow yourself to be put down, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man. Don't allow anyone to put you down, and just know that you are able to. David Osas, thank you so much. Mabuk, love you so much too. Calm down, thank you. Kisley, good morning to you from Abuja here. Thank you for all of you that have joined. It's really been amazing. Just for me, I just love sharing. I just love just giving a bit of whatever it is that I have. If you're someone who is close to me and like that, if I know one thing that, so I'm going to share it with everybody. I'm like, I just love, let's all be empowered together. It's not about one person. I hate being local champion. It's only you people, one person that has something. No, let's all have it together. That's just the beauty of it. And I do all of this kind of events. I always find them absolutely lovely. So thank you so much for being part of this today. And there's something also that I'm doing a community, right? So one of the things, I teach financial literacy. I used to teach financial literacy. For me, it's something that I love. Financial independence is very important to me. And like how that, because many people always think that you must have big money before you can build a house, or you must have big money before you can be financially independent, or you must hammer. I've never hammered in my life. It's my business, the money I make from my business one, and that's what I just save and invest them. And you know, those investments multiply. And so even while you're working, you can also be investing. So I do a lot of financial literacy lectures and stuff like that. I used to, in 2011, 2012, I used to have a radio program called Let's Do Business with Aisha on 92.9 FM. So and it was self-funded. Of course, all my activities are always self-funded, and I used to do it on radio and stuff like that. So that's one of the things I want to also bring back to my YouTube channel as a community. But I do it. I have a lot of it on. But I've just realized that most times people don't listen when you're trying to teach people certain things, especially when it is free. They are not interested. They just take it as anyhow. So I'm starting a community where we'll be talking about financial literacy. I've already started it, but I'm going to start putting out the videos from next week. Once a week, we'll talk about financial literacy, and then some talk about relationship in terms of love, marriages, and then upbringing also as children. Like I mentioned earlier, next month it will be 26 years ago that I got married. So I've been married more. My married life is more than my single my single life. I'm actually I'm actually 50, and this month my son is going to be 25. I had my son when I was 25. So I want to start teaching this financial literacy. So you see that community, and so you join and be part of the community. That's something, so that I know if it's one person that is there, that one person seriously wants to learn, and we can do the teaching. Because when you're trying to teach people, there's nothing that depresses you as when people are not interested in what is being taught. So I like, let me move on. I know I've seen quite a number of people who have said, please, I should come back, I should start the financial literacy. I have a lot of my videos. If you even click, even on my YouTube, just click financial literacy, you will see a lot of the ones that I've done before. But some people have said, and then by the time you put it on, and sometimes it's just like, okay, a few people are taking care of it. I just want a situation whereby even if it's one person that is watching that video, I need to know that the person is taking the lessons, the person is applying them, the person that is getting them to work. I used to have a Telegram group where I used to teach a lot, and a lot of people have acquired so many properties, so many lands. I tell people, always have a project that you're doing. Always, either you're building a house or you're buying land. Stop wasting money on things just like that. As soon as you gather money, go and look for one land. Even if it's far away, buy it, leave it. It might be the next day that place go develop. Land no dey waste. But anyway, so that community, as much as possible, if you're interested, please go ahead and join the community. Let's continue to have this conversation. So by next week, inshallah, I'm gonna do the videos. I've asked, we're going to do some shooting later in the day. I'm going to do some shooting just explaining financial literacy. We're going to focus for the next few months. We're going to focus just on financial literacy, and most especially with this situation that we have in Nigeria. What are the things that you need to do? The importance of budgeting, the importance of keeping money aside. At least you must pay yourself first. Is it 10% of your salary, 20, 50, 30% of your salary? Put it aside. This money, when you put them together, what you're going to do is to invest. You are going to invest in passive income yielding investment, or investment that we appreciate over time, because the goal is for you to be able to have series of investment that you no longer have to work on, that you'll be earning your money. For example, if you have houses that you've built and you have tenants, guess what's going to happen? Your rent will be coming in. You no longer have to work on those. So those are some of the things that we'll be doing. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of this. See you some other time, and hopefully we get you to join that community. Love, money. Oh, how did I even name the community? Love, family, and money. Thank you. Bye.